There's been a recent surge in movies about vampires and paranormal, ghosts, evil spirits. And that's a concern to a lot of people today. Not everybody likes that kind of thing. Even a person who's not religious or spiritual necessarily likes all of that. Sometimes you have to wonder why is there such a surge in movies that are occult, deal with the occult and vampires, demons, werewolves, paranormal, haunted houses, things like that. There's always been scary movies, of course. I've watched a few scary movies myself, although I try to totally stay away from anything paranormal and it has to do with the occult. That's something that I don't want to deal with. I don't want to get around, I want to stay away from it. Another thing, a lot of people also like to consult horoscopes and psychics, and maybe even go as far as getting spirit mediums to help them communicate with the dead. But the Bible is clear about dealing with these things. It doesn't talk about specifically like vampires in here, but it does talk about other things that are of serious nature, have to do with spiritistic things. One of many of the scriptures here is in Deuteronomy. Let me see if I can find it here. It's the 20th chapter of Deuteronomy, and I believe it's verse 8 here. Oh no, pardon me, it's the 18th chapter, and it starts out here. It looks like the 10th chapter. So it's Deuteronomy 18 verse 10. And this is some of the scriptures that talk about this. It says, "There should not be found in you anyone who makes his son or his daughter pass through the fire, anyone who employs divination, a practicer of magic, or anyone who looks for omens, or a sorcerer, or one who binds others with a spell, anyone who consults spirit mediums, or a professional foreteller of events," which, would be psychics or clairvoyants. And it says, "For everybody doing these things is something detestable to Jehovah. And on account of these detestable things, Jehovah your God is driving them away from before you. You should prove yourself faultless with Jehovah your God." So the message the Bible is trying to get across here is these things are very serious. And also, dealing with spirits, they can harm you. They can do things to you. People have reported having trouble with evil spirits. I mean, it's real. That you can make a movie about evil spirits and stuff and ghosts, but there's a difference between ghosts and evil spirits. Ghosts, everybody knows, are supposedly people who have died and their spirit lives on. But the Bible says that when people die, they're conscious of nothing at all. That's in Ecclesiastes 9 verse 5. So we don't have to worry about like ghosts, people coming back from the dead to haunt or get revenge. But there are evil spirits, and these evil spirits were once angels, and they became wicked because of Satan. He was, in the beginning, he was a righteous angel, but he began to think too much of himself and so forth, so he drew other angels with him. And today they're concentrating on their work, so to speak. You know, God has his work, and the good angels, they have their work. But Satan and his evil demons have their work too, and they are promoting these things today. The spiritism, you know, and the movies you see now out, Harry Potter. I know a lot of people like Harry Potter, and I know people who do. I have relatives who like it, who don't. You know, they watch these things. They don't. They're not cautious about these things. They don't have the same beliefs that I do. And you know, I try to be tactful, but you know, that's their business, and they watch those things. But you know, things like Harry Potter, Twilight, New Moon, all that kind of stuff, werewolves, vampires, it's even more prevalent today than it was before. And so there's this big thing over it. So it's important to understand, you know, where these things come from. It's not just fiction, you know, all fiction. You know, there are wicked spirits who promote these things because they want people to serve them unknowingly. I mean, you don't have to willingly sit around and worship the demons or the devil. All you have to do is watch these shows and like them, and you're consenting to them. You know, you're giving consent to them, and this is something that is not really a good thing, because God says that we shouldn't have anything to do with wicked spirits. And like I said, there's a lot of references you can go to in the Bible that talk about this, especially when there's a whole bunch. There's the contents at the back that helps you to find exactly where a lot of these are. Let's see, like spiritism, and it tells. It says that spiritism must be shunned as work of demons. Let's go to Acts 16, the 16th chapter. Acts the 16th chapter. Let's see. I know it also talks about wicked spirits. Here we go. Acts the 16th chapter, and it's starting in verse 16, and it goes on down. It said, "And it happened that as we were going to the place of prayer, a certain servant girl with a spirit, a demon of divination, met us. She used to furnish her masters with much gain by practicing the art of prediction." So it shows there of what we'd call somebody psychic or clairvoyant. It said that this girl kept following Paul and us and crying out with the words, "These men are slaves of the Most High God, who are publishing to you the way of salvation." Said this she kept doing for many days. Finally Paul got tired of it and turned to the spirit and said, "I order you in the name of Jesus Christ to come out of her." And it came out that very hour. So we can find out today that a lot of these people that have this art of prediction, they can predict the future, or they know what's going on in the present. Like, without actually telling them something, they may know something about you that you haven't told them. That's because the spirits, the evil spirits, they know they're on this earth and they're watching what we're doing. They know what we're doing, and they want to try to catch us doing something wrong, or try to tempt us to do something wrong. And most people today who have this art of predictability, the demons can give them these powers to know things that maybe are happening, that they're aware of these things even though they're not there. So, you know, what do we need to do to maybe not to, or maybe to avoid these things? And is it going to do us any good to go to a psychic who actually has a demon, perhaps? I wouldn't say all do. I would say some of them may be fakes, and they have tricks, ways of making you think they know the future. But do they really know the future? You know. So I'm going to read some more later, but I'm going to do that on another video. I try not to make my videos real long, so I can give people time to watch one and then go to another, because you can watch them and take a break and maybe take some points. I'll have some more a little bit later.